Hey, wrestling fans! Welcome back to Wrestling. With the Royal Rumble just around the corner, anticipation is building for those unexpected moments when the countdown hits, and a surprise entrant makes their way to the ring. Today, we're diving into speculation mode as we explore 10 wrestlers who could potentially make a surprise entrance in the Royal Rumble 2024. Let's get started. Before we jump into the list, it's important to note that these are purely speculative picks based on current scenarios, rumors, and potential storylines. Predicting surprises is always tricky, but that's part of the excitement of the Royal Rumble. Now, let's dive into the list. Dave Meltzer reported earlier this week that Brock Lesnar's return to WWE TV is imminent, which was expected with the road to WrestleMania about to get underway. WWE has wisely kept Lesnar away from programming as it attempts to figure out how it intends to utilize him next. He last competed at SummerSlam in August, doing the honors for Cody Rhodes and endorsing him afterward. The longer the Beast incarnate is gone, the more the inevitable comeback will mean. Lesnar was a last-minute entrant in the men's match last year and cleaned house before being taken out by Bobby Lashley. Every appearance he's had in the Rumble for the last 8 years has set up his storyline for WrestleMania, and this year should be no exception. There's been no official word on what the Beast's Mania match will be this year, but anything is an improvement over the outing he had against Omos in 2023. Gunther would be a logical choice, and with the Intercontinental Champion already declaring for the Men's Rumble, that could be where they kick off their highly anticipated rivalry. Liv Morgan was arrested on a drug possession charge last month, but Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful reported there's absolutely no heat on her within WWE, and it wouldn't affect any creative plans for her pending return. Similar to Sheamus, Morgan has been sidelined with a shoulder injury since August. There's been no timetable on when she's expected back, but it could be as early as the Women's Rumble match on January 27th. She had a standout performance in last year's event, entering at number 2 and lasting almost the entire time before being eliminated by the first entrant, Rhea Ripley. It was fitting given their history as partners dating back to 2022, but the bad blood remains. Ripley went on to capture the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 39 and put Morgan out of action with a vicious attack during her rivalry with Raquel Rodriguez. Morgan returning to win the whole thing and exact revenge on her former friend would be sweet justice, but an appearance alone in the Women's Battle Royal would be enough to satisfy fans. It seems to be more a matter of when and not if we'll see Andrade back in a WWE ring, and the Royal Rumble would make as much sense as anywhere for him to be reintroduced. The former NXT and United States champion worked his final match for All Elite Wrestling at last month's World's End pay-per-view. AEW owner Tony Khan then announced that the Mexican opted to not renew his contract and he would be a free agent immediately. The latest update from Fightful Select this week is that he's all but confirmed to be returning to WWE, where he can reunite with wife Charlotte Flair. Of course, the second-generation star is out injured for the time being, so Andrade can work any brand until she's cleared to compete again. WWE could just as easily hold off on bringing in Andrade until closer to WrestleMania, if not afterward, depending on what plans it has for him at the event. In other words, a run in the Rumble is far from a slam dunk, but it would be surreal to see him in a WWE ring within weeks of departing AEW. WWE made a huge deal out of Jade Cargill's signing when it was announced in September, and rightfully so. She was a homegrown star in AEW, who held gold longer than anyone ever has in that company. She was defeated only twice in singles competition and jumped ship shortly thereafter. The inaugural AEW TBS champion proceeded to pop up on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT for a few weeks before disappearing from programming. Per a November report from PU Insider, Cargill is currently training at the Performance Center a few times a week. Although WWE doesn't want to rush her progress, there'd be nothing wrong with putting her in the Women's Rumble and having that mark her in-ring debut for the company. It isn't imperative she becomes a regular on Raw, SmackDown, or even NXT after the event, if officials feel she isn't ready for prime time yet. A Rumble appearance would keep her limited and ensure she's spotlighted in front of one of WWE's biggest viewing audiences of the year. Cargill is a megastar in the making, and the Rumble is where stars are born. Few others on this list have undergone the complete character shift that Matt Cardona has since his WWE release in mid-2020. The former Zack Ryder progressively killed any association linked to 15 years of his wrestling career. He opted to become bigger, badder, and better in almost every aspect. The career turnaround this man has seen is nothing short of extraordinary. He had stints in Impact Wrestling, GCW, and DDT. But most famously, NWA displayed how suppressed his talents truly were in the past. Cardona has redefined himself to the core. It seems now more than ever he's ready for a return to the biggest stage in the industry. There have been quite a few teases in the last number of months, amounting to very little. But it definitively indicated that Cardona does want to redeem himself on a stage that on many occasions embarrassed him. A Royal Rumble return would be fitting, considering the spotlight the event will have on it this year. It could serve as the perfect welcome back that Cardona is looking for. It would have been almost unfathomable to include Naomi, now known by her real name Trinity, in this conversation a month ago. But as is often the case in wrestling, a lot can change in a short space of time. Alongside Sasha Banks, Naomi walked out of WWE in May 2022 and bet on herself by signing with Impact Wrestling in early 2023. She's had an excellent run there, reigning as Impact Knockouts World Champion for 6 months, and having great matches with a variety of opponents. In a surprising developmental, Fightful reported earlier this month that she was expected to return to WWE after her Impact run had wrapped up. Once she dropped the title at their Hard to Kill event, it became clear that was exactly what she had in mind. It's unknown if she'd be contractually free to appear in the women's match, but if she's set to finish her commitments with Impact this weekend, a Rumble return could be in the cards. Naomi already has 2 Rumble returns under her belt from 2020 and 2021, though this would be far and away her best yet. There aren't too many WWE alumni from years past who could realistically resurface in the Royal Rumble match, be received well, and haven't already had a return at the event. It's been almost 25 years since he had his last WWE match, but Ken Shamrock is one of an elite few legends who would check all of those boxes. The 59-year-old made a significant impact in the company despite not being there long during the Attitude Era. Becoming King of the Ring, winning the Intercontinental Championship, and dominating the UFC are among his greatest career achievements. Inexplicably, Shamrock has yet to be enshrined in the WWE Hall of Fame, and that must change this year, starting with a quick run in the Men's Rumble. Anyone familiar with his recent stint in TNA is aware that he stays in spectacular shape and would be able to hold his own against today's superstars. If anything, he could well outclass them with the legitimacy he lends to his in-ring style. The company has had zero affiliation with the UFC and TNA Hall of Famer for decades, but WWE Shop now having a section for Shamrock on their website means this return may not be out of the realm of possibility. Mercedes Moné is the most talked about free agent in the wrestling world right now. Her name has been floating between WWE, AEW, and New Japan circles for the last number of months, but has yet to pin herself down in any of those directions. Her walkout from WWE in 2022 left a lot of questions, and it does feel like we're close to finally getting some answers. This past year does feel like the year of the comeback in WWE. CM Punk, The Rock, and Randy Orton have all returned with major matches on the horizon. It's one that Sasha Banks could easily fit into, especially with Rhea Ripley in need of a fresh face to challenge her. Kazuchika Okada is a popular figure in the world of pro wrestling and a soon-to-be free agent. With his current New Japan Pro Wrestling contract set to expire on January 31, 2024, Okada is highly sought after. Both AEW and WWE are interested in signing him. The WWE Universe would love to see him in a WWE ring. But if he does choose to sign with the company, when would he debut? Most would expect to see him be a surprise entrant at the Royal Rumble or perhaps face one of the company's top talents at WrestleMania 40. Both are incredible options. At the end of the day, Okada is a top talent, and certainly will be treated like one if he joins WWE's roster. That said, this is all just mere speculation. There is no concrete news confirming where he plans to take his talents. Fans can only hope and pray it is WWE. CM Punk's earth-shattering Survivor Series comeback proved that anything is possible in the world of wrestling, and to never say never. Those 3 words have been synonymous with his wife, AJ Lee, since her abrupt retirement from the ring in 2015. All signs pointed to her never being medically cleared to compete due to prior neck issues, and her not expressing interest in wanting to wrestle again. But fans held out hope because she was such a popular performer during her time with WWE. In the 2024 Women's Rumble, though, an in-ring return for the 3-time Divas champion may finally come to fruition. She posted a picture of her iconic ring boots in an Instagram post on Deck 30, referencing her time on the Heels television series earlier in the year. On that show, she moved around the ring like no time had passed, leaving her most faithful fans to believe she had one match left in her, if not more. Short of Sasha Banks, she'd be the biggest female star currently not in the company who could return in the Rumble. And having it happen the same night as her husband returns to the ring as well would be remarkably special. Speculation is part of the fun in the lead-up to the Royal Rumble. Before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. Who do you think will be the most surprising entrant in the Royal Rumble 2024? Drop your predictions in the comments, and let's see if any of us get it right. And there you have it, folks. Our list of 10 possible surprise entrants in the Royal Rumble 2024. Keep in mind that these are just speculations, and the beauty of the Royal Rumble lies in its unpredictability. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more wrestling content, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, this is American Nightmare Wrestling, signing off. Enjoy the Royal Rumble, wrestling fans.